This is the kind of food that some diet programs make you eat. Forget it. No one I know could stick with a diet like this. No one. Get serious. Call Diet Center.
If you've never tried Diet Center before, get started today with our countdown special. Lose your first 10 pounds in just 2 weeks for only $69 guaranteed or diet-free until you do. No hidden costs and no packaged foods required. Just $69 for a limited time only at participating Diet Centers. Check the white pages for the one nearest you and call today.
First, the guaranteed rebate. If these rebates go up this model year, we'll pay you the difference on Dodge's best, like $1,000 on Caravans, up to $1,500 on Daytonas, and up to $2,000 on full-size pickups. Now you don't have to wait to see when rebates will get better. That's the guaranteed rebate, only from your Dodge dealer. Nobody can match us. Not Ford, not Chevy, nobody. Hurry, final days. Offer ends January 31st.
Hunting, sport, or slaughter. Next for all.
Next week after Major Dad, Valerie Harper in City joins the CBS Monday Night Comedy lineup. Now, get ready for an evening of special entertainment next.
From New York City, the arts and culture capital of the world, CBS proudly presents an historical retrospective. The Plays of the Decade with Warner Wolf. Now here's Warner Wolf.
Good evening, I'm Warner Wolf. For the last 10 years here in New York, we've shown our viewers Plays of the Week, then Plays of the Month, followed by Plays of the Year, and now, for the first time, Plays of the Decade. Highlights from 1980 through 1989. So let's go to the videotape, beginning with 1980. The best punch of 1980, Tommy Hearns, right hand, and boom, down goes Pepino Cuevas. The best warm-up for a fight, imitating Ed Sullivan, Miguel Cervantes. The worst crash of a hydrofoil with only a slight injury to the driver in Pasquo, Washington. The best back-to-back collision of 1980, Lee Mazzilli and Wally Backman of the New York Mets. Watch out, guys. The best impromptu move in a tennis match, Bjorn Borg, who kicks the ball against John McEnroe in the U.S. Open. The best wrestling move in a fight, Al Clay, who picks up Fred Reed. The worst horse spill with no one hurt, third race at Belmont, October 1980. The best catch, John Jefferson of the San Diego Chargers, one-hand touchdown. The best catch by an unsuspecting NFL official. Nice grab, ref. The best passing in the NBA, Bird to Archibald, to Chris Ford to Maxwell. And the best example of two fighters hitting after the bell, Rosie Green and Louis Mato. We'll be back in a moment with the Plays of the Decade from 1981 through 1984.
Now at Burger King, you can get a Whopper and medium fries in the new BK bonus bag for $1.99. What's the bonus? Savings on the BK bonus bag. To offer so much for so little, sometimes you gotta break the rules.
For years, we've been telling you how the four-wheel drive Subaru helps the U.S. ski team get to their events early. Yet at the 1989 World Championships, the U.S. team was not the first to arrive. The Norwegians beat us, the French beat us, as did the Italians and the Swedes. How'd they do it? That was the year we lent them all a Subaru.
What's in the new BK bonus bag? A Whopper and medium fries for $1.99. Plus big savings on
USA Today,
Foot Locker,
the World Book Encyclopedia,
Pepsi.
Giant Pepsi.
The BK bonus bag's a brand new bag, because sometimes...
Welcome back to the Plays of the Decade. Now let's go to the videotape and take a look at the years of 1981 through 1984. The best behind-the-back pass in the NBA, Julius Erving to Lionel Hollins of the Philadelphia 76ers. The most upset goalie, Doug Sotar to the Rangers, who breaks his stick. The best dunk of 1981, Julius Erving against Dallas. The worst dunk of 1981, Mel Bennett of the Jazz. Nice shot, Mel. The best stutter step move of 1981, Kevin Porter of the Bullets, who feeds Kevin Greavy, who banks it in. The best check of a National Hockey League linesman into the stand, Jim Thorne of the Red Wings. Give that man a ticket. The low blow of 1981, Bazooka Lamone, right hand, and boom. The worst conduct of the year by a soccer player, Renato Chili of the New York Arrows against the Phoenix Inferno and referee Julio Salas. The best halftime shot in basketball. The best collision with an umpire, Giant Enos Cabell and umpire Dick Stello. The best move by a player trying to blow a fair ball foul, Lenny Randall of Seattle. Blow it, Lenny, blow it. The luckiest fan of the decade, who after going after a foul ball, almost falls out of the stands on opening day in Cincinnati. The best celebration after winning a golf tournament, Jerry Pate at the Memphis Open. The best running catch and a somersault, Nate Chapman of the AAA Richmond Braves, who goes up and over. The worst made racket of the decade, it's Andres Gomez. Come on, Andre. The worst example of base running, Claudell Washington of the Braves. The most upset manager of 1981, Phillies manager Dallas Green, fined and suspended 5 games. The worst move by a gymnast, Brian Meeker. Oh! Meeker was not injured. The first time an NFL official is sacked with the quarterback. What's the call, ref? The best reaction to kicking a winning field goal, Matt Barr of the Raiders, who beats Tampa Bay. And the longest roll in a college game, North Carolina against Wake Forest. In 1982, the longest shot in the NBA, Brad Davis, Dallas 80-footer, swish. The best wild swing followed by a dance. Down goes Ronaldo Snipes, and there's Scott Frank with a dance. The worst move by a third baseman chasing a foul pop-up, Tom Brookins of the Tigers. Watch out, Tom, watch out. Oh! The best move by a batter trying to avoid a tag, Julio Cruz of Seattle against Red Sox pitcher Mike Torres. The best running catch against the wall by a center fielder, Freddie Lynn of the Angels. The worst violation of stick swinging, goalie Greg Stefan of Detroit and Willie Plett of Minnesota. Plett fined and suspended 8 games. The best acrobatic goal, Gilles Hamel of the Sabres. The toughest college player of the year, Iowa defensive back Ron Hawley, who knocks down the goalpost. The play of the decade, Stanford kicks off to California. Kevin Moyne to Richard Rogers. Rogers to Dwight Garner. Garner back to Rogers. Rogers with the ball. Rogers to Marriott Ford. Ford then gives it back to Kevin Moyne. Moyne takes it in for the game-winning touchdown and clobbers the trombone player. The best play by a quarterback to avoid a sack, Oilers quarterback Archie Manning to Mike Barber, back to Manning, who on the run throws the ball underhand 20 yards upfield to Mike Renfro, turning a 32-yard loss into a 10-yard gain. And the best accidental punch, Pedro Cardenas, who inadvertently hits referee Bert Rose. Take a 10-count, ref. In 1983, the best reaction to a 30-foot putt, Rex Caldwell, Phoenix Open, 18th hole. All right, Rex. The longest college shot, James Jackson, West Texas State, a 70-footer, swish. The worst move by a cheerleader, Sally Ney of James Madison, accidentally clobbered by James Braddock of North Carolina. The best collision, Bob Horner of the Braves and Ron Hodges of the Mets. The best trip by a teammate, Dale Vera tripped up by Steve Nicosia. Most granite blocks broken in one shot. Richie Baratheon, 17 blocks, a new world record. One of the fattest fighters of the decade, 260-pound Willis Ray Cowell. The best razz on an umpire, Oakland coach Clete Boyer, who says, come on, ump, this game should be rained out. The umpire says, forget the rain, you're out. The worst move by a quarterback, John Walton, USFL. Come on, move over, John, I don't have the ball. Most times a car flips over in an auto race without the driver getting hurt. Bill Parsons, Winston 500. The best move by a wrestler, Dusty Rhodes in the bionic elbow. The punch of the year, Roberto Duran, who knocks out Davey Moore. The best juggling act by a third baseman, Bill Stein of Texas. The tennis shot of the year, Yannick Noah, U.S. Open against Aaron Krickstein. Noah back and between his legs. The best reaction by a pitcher, Jerry Royce of the Dodgers. The worst reaction by a pitcher, Sid Mungie of the Padres. The best offsides of the decade, Mark Cork, University of Florida against Auburn. The foggiest game of the decade, Bruins Canadiens. Come on, turn on the lights. The best foot in the face, Billy Sims against Steve Brown of the Oilers. The worst rug of the year, the New York Cosmos against the Chicago Sting. And the best throw-in in a soccer game, Volga Wallace of the University of Virginia to Jeff Gaffney, and a goal. In 1984, the unusual shot of the decade, Greg Trapp, Oregon, falling over the baseline and swish. Best ball in your face, Pat Cummings of the Mavericks, who hits Bill Walton. The best play by a second baseman after the ball hits the bag, Willie Randolph of the Yankees. The best reverse golf shot of the year, Peter Jacobson, 18th hole Memorial Tournament, par 4, 100-yard shot, and the ball rolls in. The punch of the year, Thomas Hearns in the yellow trunks, right hand, and boom, down goes Roberto Duran. Most kicks by one wrestler, imitating Fred Astaire, Akita Naida. The best effort by a race car driver, Nigel Ansell in the Dallas Grand Prix, running out of gas, tries to push his car across the line. The most upset manager of the year, Pat Corrales of the Cleveland Indians, fined $1,000. The best reaction to sinking a putt, Chi-Chi Rodriguez in the Greater Hartford Open. All right, Chi-Chi. The best fluke catch of 1984, Chargers Dan Fouts off the hand, and then the foot of Seattle's Kenny Easley into the hands of Bobby Duckworth. The best finish to a college game, Boston College trailing Miami by 4 points, Doug Flutie to Gerald Phelan, and Boston College beats Miami on the last play of the game. The human spinning wheel move of the year, Nat Moore of the Miami Dolphins. And the worst hit after the bell, Tony Anthony hits Mike Weaver. Anthony is disqualified. And one of the most unusual and embarrassing moments of the decade occurred when Portland Trail Blazers general manager Harry Glickman went to introduce his new coach, Mike Schuler.
When we shook hands on our deal yesterday afternoon, I told him we'd make 4 Egonians out of the 2 of them. Mike, it's all yours. Let me slide over here.
We'll be back with the rest of the decade, 1985 through 1989, in just a moment.
This Jeep Cherokee has the advantage of 4-wheel anti-lock brakes for secure, controlled stops.
Hop in.
Thanks. But because Cherokee's a Jeep,
You gotta be kidding.
its advantages don't stop there.
Boy, what a day.
Get a $1,000 guaranteed rebate on new Jeep Cherokees.
In Paris, they lined up in the streets. In Rome, it was standing room only. In L.A. and New York, his concerts sold out in an hour. So if you want to see Paul McCartney and his new band, get in line early and get out your Visa card. Because a concert like this doesn't take place every day, and it doesn't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
It's powerful. A new kind of protection. Speed Stick Deodorant Sport Talc. Made just for a man. New Speed Stick Sport Talc. Powerful all-day protection.
Today there's a diet pill that can help you lose weight without being hungry.
And with no caffeine to make me nervous.
All my life I've been struggling with my weight. With Dexatrim, I finally lost weight, and without being hungry.
Dexatrim. Nothing works harder to help you lose weight.
Let's go! Some old friends discovered there's more to life than they ever imagined when special beings take them on an extraordinary adventure. The original Cocoon. Next. It's Valerie Harper. She's the talk of the town on Monday nights.
Ken, you incredible hunk, I want you naked on the desk.
City premieres next Monday after Major Dad.
Getting high on drugs or alcohol means you're out of control. You might do something you'd never thought you'd do, no matter what, and you might get AIDS. Stay in charge. Stay alive.
Now for the second half of the plays of the decade. Let's go to the videotape beginning with 1985. The sneak punch of 1985, Akeem Olajuwon, who hits Billy Paultz. The longest shot in the Israeli League, Doran Gomchi, 87-foot hook shot, and Mazel Tov. The most bizarre bullfight of the decade. In Spain, Matador Vicente Ruiz takes exception to fellow Matador Jose Manzaneri's tactics and goes after him. Come on, guys, this is a bull ring, not a boxing ring. The best catch by a left fielder, Ken Griffey of the Yankees, who robs Marty Barrett of the Red Sox of a home run and then does a somersault. The best play by a catcher, Carlton Fisk of the White Sox, who tags out Bobby Meacham and Dale Berra for a double play. The best catch in the World Series, Game 2, George Brett of the Royals, who goes over and into the dugout. The best college play by a quarterback in 1985, South Carolina quarterback Mike Hold against Pittsburgh. Here is Hold, who goes back to his own end zone, then throws to Anthony Smith. The ball is deflected into the hands of Raynard Brown, who runs the remaining 50 yards, completing an 80-yard touchdown. And the worst move by two high school teams who come out on the field at the same time. In 1986, the best dunk by Little Man, 5'6", Spud Webb in the slam dunk contest. Best high school shot, Chris Knowles, Buena Vista High, a 60-footer, swish. And the Buena Vista coach faints. The best example of the boxing expression, on Queer Street. Trevor Berbick against Mike Tyson. Berbick not only goes down one time from the same punch, 2 times from the same punch, but 3 times from the same punch. The worst move by a TV camera crew, the La Chine bike race in Montreal. The crew fails to get off the track in time. The best move by a pitcher who has the ball stuck in his glove, Terry Mulholland of the Giants, who throws the ball and the glove. The worst move by an usher at Tiger Stadium, who puts a box in front of Darnell Cole. The best no-look pass, Magic to Billy Thompson. And the longest dive into the end zone for a touchdown, it's Gary Anderson of the Chargers. The worst skiing accident of 1987 with only a broken nose. Todd Brooker, Canada, World Cup downhill, Kitzbühel, Austria. The best double knockdown, kickboxers Joe Poe and Tom McElroy. The best touchdown pass in the NBA, Robert Parrish to Jerry Seasting. The best foul with no foul called, Robert Parrish and Bill Lane Beer. But Parrish is eventually fined and suspended. The worst case of being caught in the act, Twins pitcher Joe Niekro, who was fined and suspended for doctoring up the ball with an emery board. The worst sportsmanship award, Pan Am Games. The Mexican trainer comes off the bench and tackles Nelson Kirshner of Brazil. The best heads-up play by a pitcher, Shane Rawley to Mike Schmidt to Rick Shue for the out. The most irate hockey team, the New Jersey Devils, who climbed the plexiglass after being pelted with debris. And the most determined kicker of the decade, 250-pound William Ritten of South Carolina State, who misses the game-winning field goal against Grambling. But Grambling is called for roughing the kicker. On his second try, Ritten's kick is blocked, but Grambling is offsides. On his third try, Ritten's kick is no good, but again Grambling is offside. The fourth and final time on the same kick, Ritten's kick is good. And South Carolina State beats Grambling 15-13. In 1988, the best broken backboard, Jerome Lane of the University of Pittsburgh. The worst finish to winning a race, Ben Johnson's 60-meter dash, Sherbrooke International. Johnson wins it, but goes up and over. The best piggyback play, Wes Matthews of the Lakers riding Dudley Bradley of the Nets. The worst move by a horse going the wrong way, it's Hadara Lobel in the 5th race at Yonkers. The most painful at bat, first Billy Ripken fouls a ball off his foot. Then Seattle third baseman Edgar Martinez, thinking it was a batted ball, throws and hits Ripken in the head. The windiest game of the decade, Pirates against the Astros in Pittsburgh. The game was called in the 9th inning because of wind. The best catch by two men on one play, A's second baseman Glenn Hubbard, and it's A's right fielder Jose Canseco. The best chip shot by an amateur, Michael Jordan, Pro-Am Atlantic Classic out of the bunker on the fly. The best catch of the year while crashing through the barrier, Cubs pitcher Jamie Moyer, who holds on to the ball. The best diving catch on a wet field, Red Sox center fielder Ellis Burks. Most umpires throwing out one manager at one time, Angels manager Cookie Rojas. The best play by a pitcher, Frank Viola of the Twins, behind the back and throws him out. Kid, the best volley of 1980. Line of the month, Benoit Benjamin of the Clippers, who clobbers Jerome Kersey of Portland. The best combination punches, Sugar Ray Leonard, left and a right, down goes Donnie Lalonde, fight's over. And the foggiest football game of the decade, Eagles-Bears, Soldier Field, New Year's Eve. 1989, the best exchange after the bell, Wally Muhammad and Jeff Lampkin, trying to be separated by referee Paul Venti. The jockey of the decade, Nat Hubbard, first race at Golden State, loses his mount, but hangs on to Sweetwater Oak and finishes second. The worst stuff of the decade, Freddie McSwain of Southern Illinois puts it in, but the ball hits McSwain on the top of his head, bounces out, and no basket. The bare hand catch of the decade, National League MVP Kevin Mitchell, who reaches up and makes the grab. The best reaction after being hit by a very slow curveball, Mike Heath of the Tigers. Give us a smile, Mike. The worst kick of the month by a horse, Sunday Silence, who kicks his trainer, Charlie Winningham. The best diving catch by a running left fielder, it's Barry Bonds of the Pittsburgh Pirates. The best impression of a soccer player, Reds right fielder Paul O'Neill, who bobbles the ball and then kicks the ball back to the infield. The best diving catch by a left fielder crashing into the wall, Herm Winningham of the Cincinnati Reds. The best catch by a third baseman going into the photographer's box. Carlos Martinez of the White Sox. The most upset manager of the year, Don Zimmer of the Cubs, who almost bites the nose of umpire Terry Crawford. The worst face mask pull, Jets' Tony Martin pulls Eagles' Greg Garrett's helmet completely around. The most creative play, running back Darren Brooks of Aiken High School in Cincinnati, because the coach said, try something clever. The best home plate collision, Greg Vaughn of the Brewers and Jamie Quirk of Baltimore, out at the plate. The best broken bat of the year, it's Bo Jackson of the Royals who strikes out and breaks it over his knee. The best flip, Ernest Gibbons of the Houston Oilers, up and over touchdown. The best victory smile after a win, it's Chris Nyland of the New York Rangers. The best goal, watch Paul Gillis of Quebec, totally off his feet, shoots and scores. One of the longest golf shots, it's Peter Jacobson, Kapalua International, 12th hole, 220 yards, one bounce, and a hole-in-one. And the mother of the decade, Mrs. Minna Wilson, watching her son being pounded out by Steve McCarthy, jumps into the ring and hits McCarthy over the head with her shoe. We'll be back in just a moment to show you the biggest interview height mismatch of any decade.
Mr. McDonald, let's talk chicken. Are you aware that the public prefers the taste of Kentucky Nuggets to your chicken McNuggets by almost 3 to 1?
No, sir.
And is your McChicken sandwich made with the Colonel's secret blend of 11 herbs and spices?
No, sir.
So how do you expect to sell chicken?
Toys! Lots of toys!
Taste our best. $1.99 for the Colonel's chicken sandwich and fries, or Kentucky Nuggets and fries.
You know the sinking feeling of a dead battery.
Mommy, what's wrong?
Just stay in the car.
Now there's the revolutionary Die-Hard Dual Start. It's 2 Die-Hard batteries in one. A simple twist taps its built-in spare Die-Hard, so you're not left stranded.
Mom, you fixed it.
It's cutting-edge technology, and it's Die-Hard. Die-Hard Dual Start. More power when you need it most.
A freak accident, a devastating fire, and a blind man comes to the rescue. When it's a matter of life or death, Rescue 911 Tuesday. An archaeologist and an adventurer, unlikely lovers in the most unlikely place.
That's rude.
Really?
Elizabeth Montgomery and Robert Foxworth, face-to-face, Wednesday at 9.
Before we leave, thanks to my producers, Carmine Sincata and Cliff Gelb, and my editor, Tommy Chu. And I leave you now with the interview height mismatch of all time, featuring yours truly and 7'4" wrestler Andre the Giant.
Well, look, I want to wish you good luck tonight, and against the you. Almost there. Wait a minute, get away. Excuse me, let me.
So long, folks. See you later. Take care, Andre.
Later tonight, Pat Sajak greets Willie Shoemaker, actor Chad Lowe, and more. But first, old friends find there's more to life than ever imagined when special beings take them on an extraordinary adventure. Stay tuned for a special broadcast of the original hit movie, Cocoon, next.